Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wills from What's to Eat. I'm here with Wally, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make willsez epic lasagna. So this is the final product. This recipe will be a little bit more expensive than the usual that I'm showing you, but it's well worth it. So I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. So see you in a bit when I'm going to show you what you need for this recipe. Alright, as you can see, this recipe takes quite a lot of ingredients. So I've separated them a little bit in groups. So first of all, of course, you'll need lasagna sheets, dry or fresh, whatever you have. It's better with fresh ones, but of course you have to use them fast. So in this case I'm using dry sheets. Next, for the first sauce, some heavy cream, some milk, parmigiano, and flour. Then for the second sauce, I'm using a ready sauce with olives and basil. You can use any other kind of ready pasta sauce or make your own sauce. It's up to you, just saving time by using a ready sauce. Some more tomato paste, because one jar of sauce is not enough for a whole lasagna. This is some bacon in pieces like that. Sauce onion, some Strasbourg sausages or any other sausage that you prefer, anything that you'll use to make hot dogs or any other kind of sausage if you like. Some corn, and what's left with the finish, some mozzarella cheese, quite a lot actually, and some spread cheese, which is gonna protect the lasagna from drying out. I'll show you about it. And of course some olive oil. So this is all the ingredients, and now we're gonna move on to the preparation phase. First of all, I'm gonna prepare this first sauce, which is made by heavy cream, as I said. I'm just gonna add the ingredients that are required, so the flour, milk, and the parmigiano cheese, and mix everything together. If it becomes too liquid, you can add some more flour. You want it to be kind of with the same consistency as the heavy cream actually. A little bit more liquid, but not too much. So mix everything, see what it's like, and if you have to, add some more flour to make it harder, thicker. Right, so the first sauce is ready. Should be like that, more or less. I'm just gonna leave it to the side, and I'm gonna start preparing the ingredients for the second part. So you just have to cut the onion and the sausages. So this is fairly quick and easy, and then I move on to the next part of the preparation for the sauce. Okay, so this is ready. Now it's time to fry it and mix all the ingredients for the second tomato sauce, and then we'll start the actual lasagna preparation. Alright, here we are. So for the next part of the tomato sauce, I've preheated some olive oil here, and now I'm going to start adding the ingredients. So I'm going to start with the sausage and the onion. And leave it there for just a couple of minutes for everything to become more softer. Just one onion, let's go. Now, this is a good time to preheat your oven. 112 Celsius, so this is about 300 Fahrenheit, I guess. I'll check it up and put it in the description if I am wrong. So you can add the bacon now. Again, leave it a couple seconds. Okay, I'm gonna add the corn now. Leave it for a couple of minutes more. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Alright, it seems about ready to add the tomato sauce now. Basically, what you want is your bacon to be almost crispy, but not exactly. Before you add the tomato sauce. So I'm gonna do tomato paste first. And next the ready tomato base. Stir it a bit, mix everything well together. Now you can use any sauce, as I said, and normally you don't have to add any other ingredients in terms of spices, but as I like it a bit more flavory, I'm gonna add some savory, some oregano, and some thyme. Once again, you don't have to do that, it's to you. I just find it better this way. The most important thing is not to add any salt, because the ready sauce is already salted, and the bacon also adds quite a lot of salt, so do not add any salt on it. So now you have to lower the heat to medium and leave it like that for 5-6 minutes maybe. You want it to get a little bit thicker, lose a little bit of the liquid, because it will be easier to spread in the lasagna later on if it's not all that liquid. So yeah, leave it like that for 5-6 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next part. The two sauces are now ready, so it's time to start the hardest part of the lasagna, which is actually making the lasagna. So what you need is one of these glass cooking pots with a cover. This is important because otherwise your lasagna will dry out if it's not well covered. So have to find something which is the best size for your lasagna sheets, which is not the case today. So I had to actually cut the lasagna sheets. So as you can see, you can do that if you have to, because they have to fit at the bottom of the pot. So first of all, I'm gonna start with one layer of the white sauce at the bottom. Just put some like that. Basically the idea with the white sauce is that it will keep the lasagna from drying out, and it will be all nice and soft. Spread it at the bottom. Okay, and then start putting the lasagna sheets at the bottom as well. I'm gonna put 3 each time. Make sure to get them to cover well, like that. And then I'm gonna start adding the tomato sauce with all the meat and the other tasty things that are inside. So So the hard part is to actually manage to have enough sauce for all the layers, and you have to keep in mind that the last layer will not have any sauce on it. We're gonna put the cheese on. So when you count your sheets, always count for one layer which will have nothing on it, at least not sauce on it. So yeah, this is a bit hard, but you can always add more sauce to some layers than others. It doesn't matter, and people don't see it when you eat the lasagna. So just start with one dose, and then you can see about how much it took to do one layer, and from there you can adjust your next layers. Also, it's better to have more sauce at the bottom layer than the top layers if you have to, because this way it won't spill all over when you cut it. It will be at the bottom of the lasagna. So yeah, this looks fine. Make sure to cover the edges. You don't want your edges to dry out and be all crunchy, because it's not good. So do that, like that. Next, add some more of the white sauce on top of it, just like that. Alright. And repeat. So more lasagna sheets, more tomato sauce, and finally more white sauce. So you have to do this until your last sheet, your last pair of sheets or 3 sheets that you're gonna use, and then we're gonna add the cheese. Right, so the last layer is almost ready. I'm gonna show you what to do. So once again, I do the same procedure: tomato sauce and white sauce. So now the last pieces, so like that. And now I'm going to spread some of the spreading cheese. I'm going to use a cheese with Roquefort. You can use anything that you like. There are the same kinds of cheese with onions or garlic or other things. So just spread some on top of it. Make sure to put over. I'm going to use the whole pot, of course. You just want to cover everything so that the final layer doesn't dry out, which it normally does if it's not well protected. In the meantime, I've also prepared the mozzarella, which I'm gonna put later on, after the lasagna has been cooking for a while. So yeah, it's a bit messy, but this is this. Now the remaining white sauce, normally you should have some left. You just pour it all over. It will fall to the bottom and fill the gaps in the pot if there are any. So just make sure it goes all over. You can see it's like that. It's like that from the side. So now what you have to do is close the lid and put it in the oven. The cooking time depends on the pasta type that you have. For example, what I'm using here takes 20 minutes to cook. If you're using fresh pasta, it might be different. So you have to refer to the packaging of the lasagna cheese that you're going to use. So I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to put it for less time than it requires, because at the end we have to add the cheese here and leave it there for just a couple of minutes. So I think I'm going to leave it for 10 to 15 minutes, see how it goes, and if it looks ready, I'm going to add the cheese. So do the same with yours, put it to cook and leave some time before it's done. 15 minutes have passed, and the lasagna looks fine to me. One way to check it is, if you're using dry sheets, you can try and poke it a bit. If it's soft, this means that it's going fine. If it's still hard, it means you have to put it back for a couple of more minutes. But this is soft. You can probably see or not, I don't know. But yeah, it looks good. So now what I'm gonna do is add the cheese. Now you can use as much cheese as you want. I love tons of cheese on lasagna, so I'm gonna use a lot. Most people like cheese, so you can use other cheese as well. You can use Emmental cheese or a mixture of different cheeses, or even whatever you like. Just add as much cheese as you want, and when you're done, put it back for the remaining time that it is supposed to cook. In my case, this will be about 5 minutes. So yeah, as I said earlier, it all depends on the type of lasagna sheets that you're using. So be careful, it's kind of extremely hot. Just put the lid back on, put it back for the remaining time, and that's it. Okay, so we're done. The lasagna looks ready. What actually happened is that after 5 minutes of cooking, I removed the lid and left it cook a little bit more, and finally I left it for 1 minute in the oven with the grilling option. Now it depends if you have this or not. So the whole thing is to make it like this with cheese. If you don't have a grilling option, maybe you should leave it open for a little bit longer, and well, it all depends on your oven, but it's also just a matter of taste. You don't have to have it like that. You just it looks better, and I prefer it when there's just a little bit brown all over and all that. So that's it. All that is left now is to wait a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, for it to go off and eat it. Hope you like it, and see you soon at What's to East.